Okay, so on Friday, we are handing in our wireframes and you are giving them to me. Essentially, immediately once you do that, I need you folks to start prototyping. And I know this timeline is tight. And the reason why this timeline is tight is to give you as much time as you possibly could for those sketches and those wireframes, because I know that was probably the trickiest part. I put lots of videos on how to prototype. It might seem daunting. It's not, it's quite easy. So there's a tutorial on how to create and share your link for testing. I'll just go over it again here now. What I did note in, just gonna delete, woo! I do not want to do that. Hang on a second. Why is this? Anyways, okay. All over the place here. See if one of these buggers will maybe not be linked up. So what I do want to show you, okay, perfect. So once you're in your prototyping tab and you get everything nice and connected, you might have a couple extra like artboards hanging out. So you might have that components. You might have some other ones that are maybe still hanging out that you haven't quite deleted. So now I prototype and I've got what I need linked up. So I don't link these pages because they're unnecessary. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of show you almost the wrong way. So I'm going to go to share. You can give it a name, making sure I noted this. You're going view settings, make sure that's design review. And I cannot stress enough, anyone with a link. I do not want any of these to be clicked. If I have to chase you for a proper link, that's going to be marks deducted. So please make sure invited people, that means you have to specifically put my email in. I don't want to do that. And again, same thing with the password, anyone with a link. You're also going to want to make sure it's anyone with a link when you're doing your usability testing. All you do then is you press create link. And it's taking a second. You go ahead and copy that link. So this is what happens when I paste that in there. I get that components frame, which I don't want. You're like, now I actually physically have to click through here, which means that's not the right way. That means I'm not a functioning prototype the way it should be. So what we do to avoid all those extra pages, you could potentially delete them, but in case you probably want to keep your components, all we do is from the prototype tab, make sure you just go ahead and you click on that first onboarding screen, you click that home. And now it calls it Flow One, and it actually literally just is going to include anything that has been linked. So now when I go to share, and I go again, make sure all those settings are the same. So again, I still have that components, but you can see it's now grayed out. So it's not being included in there. It's only including all the pages that were essentially linked. And now we got it. Okay. So that's how we share our link. And that's how we need to make sure we do that for this weekend. So we need to create those prototypes, and then we need to share that link. I'm just going to stop my screen share. So when we do our usability testing and we share our link with our 2 testers, what you need to make sure you're doing is navigating them through your site. So it's not quite like we're tricking them like we did the first time for usability testing. What we're doing now is we're just making sure that they click every single page, make sure that navigation works from every single page, make sure all of those links work, make sure you can add something to cart. So all the functionality of the site is working. You just want to make sure your 2 users will do that, because someone might forget to click something versus your other user might try to click that and they're like, oh, it doesn't work. So It's probably going to look a little bit different than filling out that sheet from the first one. But again, if someone's testing, add a bean salad and maybe they can't quite see it. And you're like, well, they couldn't see it because the font was too small. So then your recommendation would be enlarge the font. Another task could be, ensure all the pages are linked together. A source of error, the menu wasn't linked from the home page. The resolution, link it up. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit different, but just use your brains, get them to really test your app, and then you should be good to go. Go back into a screen share. Again, if there are errors or feedbacks from your testers, so once they do your testing and you obviously have your recommendation of what needs to be done, you need to make sure that you do those edits before you hand in your final prototype and usability. You're not to hand in, does that make sense? So you create your link, you send it to your testers. If there's issues, you fix those issues, you create a new link, and that's what you submit to me. I don't want you to submit to me the same link that you're submitting to your testers, because you'll probably have some maybe minor modifications. Does that make sense, or are we clear? Got it. Thanks. Thanks, Lucy. I'm not sure if anyone's just sleeping today or what. Okay. Thanks, Tara. When handing this in, you're to put the shared link in the comment section. So that link that I just pasted in here, you're going to put that in the comment section. And then you're also going to submit your PDF or your Excel files, however you want to submit those. I guess it's either PDF or Excel into the Dropbox, and that's Monday. Okay.